Hello and welcome to another Wuthering Waves video. Today we're talking about the Gacha system, which is a very hot topic right now, as you probably know if you have a Twitter account. This will be more like a freestyle video because I don't want to just tell you all the information about the banners. I want to discuss it and I want to give my 2 cents about it. Before we start, I want to give a disclaimer. It is literally impossible to talk about the gacha system without comparing to other games. So we should just deal with that, okay? I also dislike comparison and comparing games gacha games all the time, especially, the game that we're gonna compare about, which is Genshin Impact. It is annoying that every time we're talking about Wuthering Waves, we're talking about Genshin Impact, but guess what? This right here is based on Genshin Impact. That is a fact, that is a reality. It is what it is. Let's deal with it. And I'm also going to compare to other games. So let's start from the beginning. The gacha on Wuthering Waves is called Convene, and you can access by clicking here. There are 5 banners in Wuthering Waves, the first of them being temporary. We're going to talk about each one of them. So the first one is the beginner's banner. The second one is the limited character banner. The third one is the limited weapon banner. The fourth one is their standard character banner, and the fifth one is the standard weapon banner. Depending on the game you're coming from, it is different for you that we have a weapon standard banner, right? That is not something you see on every game. The gacha currency is called a stride. This is the item you get by doing dailies, by buying the daily pass, by doing achievements, by completing some quests, opening chests. This is the main currency. With this currency, you can turn that into the pulls. Each banner has a different pull, okay? And with 160 strides, you turn into 1 pull. For the standard banners, so the character standard banner and the weapon standard banner, you gotta turn a strides into this lustrous type. It's the yellow pull. For the limited weapon banner, you use the Forging Tide, which is this rainbow type of pull. And for the character banner, it is the Radiant Tide. So they all look different, okay? It is not the same exact item that you use to pull in all of these banners. For the beginner's banner, you're gonna use the same pull you use for the character standard banner and the weapon standard banner, okay? But this first beginner's banner is temporary. This banner is made for people who just started the game. Obviously, it's called beginner's banner. You will want to pull in this banner only, okay, with your standard pulls, the yellow ones that you're gonna get a lot from in the beginning of the game. Why do you want to pull in this banner? Because the PD is lower, the PD is 50. That means you're gonna use the free items you get, and when you get to the 50 pull mark, you're guaranteed to have one of the standard banner characters. And those characters are Verina, Encore, Lingyang, Genshin, and Kaokaro. Okay, these are the 5-star characters in the beginning banner. You're gonna get one of them. It's random. You cannot choose which one. The rates for the beginner banner are 0.8% chance of getting a 5-star resonator. Okay, so in this banner, you only get characters, you only get resonators, you do not get weapons. After you get your first character in the beginner's banner, then that banner will disappear and you will never come back. Now let's talk about the limited character banner. So this is when it starts to get interesting, controversial, and is it bad? Is it not bad? That's a question only you can answer, okay? There are so many points of view to look at that, and that's why I gave the disclaimer about Genshin. Compared to Genshin, it is not bad. Compared to the general, it is a little bit bad. Let's look at how this banner works. The rates are the same as we just saw. The base 5-star resonator drop rate is 0.8%, but this is a 50-50% banner. As you can read here, every time a 5-star resonator is obtained, there's a 50% chance you'll be Jian, the limited 5-star resonator of this event, okay? Or any character that's gonna be in the banner. If the 5-star resonator obtained is not Jian, the next 5-star resonator is guaranteed to be Jian. So the 50-50 system is something that Genshin brought to this standard of the gacha games. And it is like that everywhere I look. All the games are doing the same thing. I personally dislike it. I wish it could be different, but it's not. I don't think that they're gonna change this for the open release. Okay, I think this is final. I'm almost sure that they're not gonna change this. Doesn't matter how many feedback we give, because guys, guess what? This game is made to make money. Okay, sometimes I get the idea by reading people talking about it on Twitter and on Reddit that companies create game for us to have fun for free. This is not the reality. A company makes a game, especially a gacha game, for people to gamble and for them to become rich. So as you can imagine, a lot of people were disappointed with this 50-50 chance for the character banner. Okay? Especially because Kuro Games' other game, PGR, does not have a 50-50 banner at all. The character banner is 100% guaranteed. But this is not PGR. And what I'm gonna say now is for my PGR players right there that are probably watching and thinking, why did Kuro Games did that? Guys, because as I just said, this game was made to make money. This game was made, either you like to hear it or not, to compete with Genshin Impact. Okay? And the gacha system in general is better than Genshin Impact, and we're gonna get to that point. So, in the banner, there's always 3 4-star characters. When you get a 4-star pool, there's a 50% chance that will be one of them. If it is not one of them, then the next 4-star item is guaranteed to be one of them. So the problem with this part, I have a problem with the fact that there are weapons in a character banner. That does not make sense to me. It never did. I don't understand. It makes no sense. It never made sense in Genshin. And I don't like that Kuro Games took that from their banner. It is a character banner. Everything should be characters. So I myself as a CBT2 player, I'm gonna send that feedback, but as I said, I don't think that they're gonna change anything, but I'm still gonna send. One thing I like to point out also about this banner is that the pity is 80. It's less than the game that starts with a G. What is not clear? We don't know if we have a secret pity, soft pity, like we have on Genshin. On Genshin, there's a secret soft pity that is at 75, 76. That is not written in the details. That is just the way it is. But the hard pity at Genshin is 90. Here, the hard pity is at 80. And we are not sure. We don't have data enough to say. Some people say that there is a soft pity. Some people say that, like me, like there's just not data enough and we cannot say. I hope, I really hope that the soft pity is like at 66, because then it would be so much better, right? If the hard pity here is at 80, it makes sense to me that if they're trying to do something similar, then, you know, copy the good things too and make the soft pity 66. That's my opinion, but we are not sure yet. Now the weapon banner. This is when things start to get interesting and different in a good way. Let's see why. The weapon is guaranteed to be the weapon in the banner. The limited weapon. There's no chance, there's zero chance you're gonna get another weapon. If you're pulling for, in this case, absolute possession, which is Jian's weapon, and you get to the PD and you see the yellow light, it is that weapon. Okay, so that's good, that's great. That's what we asked for. And I wish it was like that also in the character banner, but it's not. The rate is the same, 0.8, and the rest is all the same, the 4-star, etc, etc, etc. There are 3 4-star weapons, and it is the same concept. If you don't get one of the feature 4-star characters when you get a 4-star pool, then the next one is guaranteed. So this is how the gacha system in Wuthering Waves, it's, setting themselves apart from games like Genshin, where the weapon banner is terrible. It is great to have a guaranteed weapon, but before we go to the standard banners, I just would like to say that even more important than the PD and the soft PD and the hard PD and the probabilities is how much stuff and currency they are gonna give us. And as of CBT2, it is looking like even that is really similar to Genshin. People already made some calculations, and it is around that 80 to 90 pulls per patch. If that's the case, then, well, the gacha system is good, but it's not great. It is not something that is like, oh my god, this is the savior, the messiahs of the gacha game world in terms of probability, and it's not. Is it bad? No. But as I said in the beginning of the video, it really depends where you're coming from. If you're new to the gacha world, this is the first gacha game you're playing, then this is a considerably nice gacha system. If you're coming from Genshin, this is a good system. If you're coming from PGR, this is not a good system. So it really depends. So going for the standard banners now, there's the character standard banner and there is the weapon standard banner. So this is something that is already different for a lot of people, especially from people coming from Genshin. So let's see how it works. The rates are the same, 0.8 for a 5-star, 6% for a 4-star. The difference is there's no featured 4-star character or weapon in this banner. Instead, we have every 4-star character in the game and every 4-star weapon in the game, if you with the exception of battle passes, weapons, and that type of thing. So the probability between them are all shared the same. There's no higher chance for you to get any 4-star character. The 5-star characters of the standard banner are good characters. This is a thing that I would like to point out. They are not the characters that are gonna be like, oh shit, I got this character, so fuck my life. No. They feel good, they feel pretty, and they feel like premium. You feel like you're getting a 5-star character instead of feeling bad that you lost the 50-50 for one of them. The weapon standard banner uses the same item from the character, but what is different here is that you can choose what weapon to get at any point, which is pretty amazing. The rates are the same, 0.8 for a 5-star, 6% for a 4-star. And as the character standard banner, there are no featured weapons in this banner, okay? You have all the 4-star weapons and they share the same probability. And 4-star characters are also here. So it's the same as the character standard banner, but instead of getting a character, you get a weapon and you can choose it here at any point. So even if you're like on the pool 79 and there's one more pool for you to get your weapon, you can come here and change. You want a sword now, you want gauntlet now, you want a rectifier. So that's pretty amazing. The weapons that are here now, they are okay. I want to say they're crazy good. It is too early to say for sure. We also don't know if they're gonna add more weapons, if there's gonna be a rotation, or if this is gonna be like Genshin, where it's the same weapons forever and they never change it. I hope not. I hope they keep adding different types of standard banner weapons, because it doesn't make sense for it to be just one set of weapons for 3-4 years. But they don't feel like they're gonna be game changer. So I really, as of now, I wouldn't see a reason for you to pull in this banner at all, especially if you don't have the characters yet. Like, why would you use the same item that you use to get characters in the standard banner to try for a weapon? Let's see this weapon, for example. Attack and crit rate. Energy regeneration is increased by 12%, When resonance skill hits a target, attack is increased by 6%. This effect can stack up to 2 times. So it doesn't feel game changing, it doesn't feel necessary. Now let's talk about the shop briefly, because I'm gonna make another video just about the shop because it is a lot. You can see here that you get 2 other types of currencies apart from the Astride, which is the normal gacha currency. There is the Afterglow Coral and there is Oscillate Coral. Now let's go back to the rates so we can understand how this happened. So here it is. When you obtain a 5-star resonator, you already have, for the 2nd to the 7th time, you will get 1 wave band. Wave band is the dupe system. Okay, if you're coming from Genshin, you will call that Constellation. If you're coming from Honkai Star Rail, you'll call that Eidolon. So when you get a copy from a character, you get a wave band. And you also get 15 Afterglow Corals. From the 8th duplicate onward, so when you already have all possible copies you have of that character, you get 40 Afterglow Corals. That for the majority of people is just not something that you'll ever get, right? So let's just consider. Every time you get a 5-star character, you get 15. When you obtain a 4-star resonator, you already have, for the 2nd to the 7th time, you get the wave band and 3 Afterglow Corals. And when you have all of the copies, you get 8. When you obtain a 4-star weapon, you get 3 Afterglow Corals. And about the other coral, when you obtain a 3-star weapon, you get 15 Oscillate Corals. And one more thing, if you get a 5-star resonator and it's not the limited character, so you lost the 50-50, you get an extra 30 Afterglow Corals. Now let's see what they do. The Afterglow Corals, which are the ones you get from getting duplicates from 5-star and 4-star characters, you can get in this shop the pool for the limited character, the pool for the limited weapon, and the pools for the 2 standard banners. Each one costs 8. But what is really different here is that you can buy the dupes, you can buy the copies of the characters. It costs a lot, it does, but you can do it. And for people who can save a lot of pools on gacha games, which is not me, they can actually aim to get the characters from the standard banner all the way to the maximum, because it's actually possible. It would take a long time for sure, but you can do it. You can buy copies, 2 of every character that is on the standard banner, and you can also buy 2 copies of the limited character that is on the banner, but they don't stay there forever. You see this timing here, it will go away exactly when the banner goes away. That means that if you have a lot of this saved and you wanna get a character, let's say you have 600 and 720, right? You have that saved and you got the character pulling, and you can buy 2 copies. So that character will automatically have 2 copies and you're the original pool. I think that's a great thing. Apart from that, you can also buy 4-star character duplicates. As of right now, you can buy 1 of each for Baizi and 1 for Yang Gang. I assume that they're gonna keep a rotation on this. Here, there's no timing in closed beta, but it wouldn't make sense to be only Yang Yang on or Baizi. So I think this will be a thing that changes every month, probably. And you can also get tuners for the echoes. You can buy 60 of those, but I don't think you should do it. No one should do this, only if you're a mega giga whale. In the other part of the shop right here, Oscillate Coral is where you can buy the monthly pools, okay? This is really similar to Genshin. So you can buy 6 per month and they cost 70. And these are really easy to get. This is, if you don't remember, right now I explained, the Oscillate Coral is the one you get from getting 3-star stuff from the banner. So basically that type of currency that you get all the time just by pulling. And you can buy 6 of the limited character and 6 of the limited weapon per month, 70 each. So I want to know what you think. Please let me know in the comments your opinion. I'm gonna just conclude saying that I was not shocked. I even tweeted that the other day. There were people on Twitter being like, this is shocking, a 50% rate in a game. I was like, guys, this is literally the standard for years now. I don't think it's shocking. I think it sucks, but shocking it is not. This is exactly what I expected. To be really honest with you, I was expecting the banners to be exactly like Genshin. It is terrible. It is terrible that the 50% reality exists, you know, that obviously no one likes that. No one likes that. My opinion about it, it's really mixed because I am a really realistic person. I was gonna play this game even if it was just like Genshin. For the same reason that I still play Genshin. Like, I already accepted that some things just suck and it is what it is. I am happy with the fact that the weapon is guaranteed. That is like a game changer, you know. But ultimately is what I already said in this game in this video multiple times. I think if you're a Genshin player, this is literally a good gacha system, okay? If you don't play Genshin, then this is a bad system because the 50% rate for a character exists. But at the same time, do you like the standard banner characters? Have you seen them? They really look good. So losing the 50-50 for them, is it really that bad as, for example, losing for Chi-Chi on Genshin Impact? No, it is not that bad. So there are some differences there, you know. My verdict is that this is a okay gacha system. I'm not saying it's a good gacha system because it's not. It is definitely not a great gacha system, and it is definitely not a terrible gacha system. If we were in 2020, in 2019, and this game came out back there, before Genshin or with Genshin, then this would be a terrible gacha system. But the reality of the industry has changed so much that there is just no more space to be shocked about the fact that companies make those games, make these games to make money, for us to gamble, for people to gamble. That is the reality. If you're one of the CBT2 players and you want to give your feedback, by all means, go. I'm also gonna do it, even though I don't think they're gonna hear it. I'm gonna go there and say, yeah, I don't like the 50-50. I don't like that there are weapons in the character banner. And I wish, if your guys are doing this, then you should give more income of the currency throughout a patch. It should be like 120 pulls per patch. This is what I'm gonna say. It should be, if you're keeping the pity like that in the 50-50, then you should do something else to be better. This is what I'm gonna say, but honestly, I don't think that they're gonna hear. I think this is final. Because if you're playing this game like I'm playing, it's clear that this game is made and was made to compete with Genshin, which I think, as a Genshin Impact player, and as a Wuthering Waves player, and as a Punishing Grey Raven player, I think that this is good, this is healthy. There should be competition for both sides. There's nothing crazy happening here as people losing their minds on Twitter. Okay guys, this is normal, this is how the industry is. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. I really want to know, because it's interesting to see how polarizing this subject is. I hope they changed. I hope I'm wrong. I hope they hear. I'm sure so many players are talking about this gacha system in the feedback, and I hope I'm wrong. Can you imagine if they're like, okay, the 50-50, I don't know, it's gonna continue, but the PD is now 60, or the 50-50 is gone, but the PD is now 100. I don't know. They have a lot of options, okay? So let's hope. That's it for today. If you like this video, please consider subscribing and liking this video. It helps a lot. I create content for Wuthering Waves, and soon I'm gonna start creating content for Punishing Gray Raven, and Honkai Star Rail. So if you're into those games, I talk about them a lot on Twitter, and I also do live stream at Twitch like 3 or 4 times a week. Follow me there as well, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.